We did some mining in the river, drenching the river, and doing that process, we started finding.
What year are we talking about?
This house was dated around 1780 C by the historians.
Okay.
I think it's much earlier. Yes, kept that secret for a while.
You kept that secret?
Yeah, wasn't sure as to whether or not the government would claim ownership to the pieces, so kept it a secret. Spoke with attorney.
I've always been fascinated with our history, and today I'm at Rio Nuevo. This was the famous location where the Spaniards fought the British. It is now basically a serene place to be, lovely garden, and there are some attractions here that Dirt Adventure is basically a part of. Today I'll be doing some horseback riding. Stay tuned.
Kareem's Quest. Travel different from the rest. You're watching Kareem's Quest. It's always an adventure when you're watching Kareem's Quest.
So this is probably like my second time doing horse riding, and with the trainer who is called Popular Footprint from Kareems Park, right? Who give me some good tips in terms of just holding the reins and controlling the horse. This is a lovely property as well. It's well kept. I presume things at wedding probably happen here, but it's a nice property to just come and stroll through. And I have a very nice horse working with, very compliant and easy to basically work with and get around the property. The evening is nice. It started to rain earlier, but everything kind of clear up, and now it's a nice atmosphere and just a calm evening. Now I've taken a little break from being on the horse, and I am at the great house on the property, and I'll be speaking with David, the curator, who will be telling me about the history as well as many of the artifacts that are here. David!
Yes.
Greetings!
Yes, greetings. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
How did you find these artifacts?
When the initial stages of finding the artifacts was really when we started doing infrastructure work on property, the road. We did some mining in the river, drenching the river, and doing that process, we started finding.
What year are we talking about?
We're talking about 10 years ago, 10 years back.
2010, basically?
Yeah, around that period. So initially we started finding mostly pieces that would relate to the Spanish era and the English era, and also that period, of course, would also relate to enslaved Africans. So initially, those are the pieces we started.
So you were
finding.
seeing some of these craftsmanship, and then you're wondering to yourself what they are.
Yes, kept that secret for a while.
You kept that secret?
Yeah, wasn't sure as to whether or not the government would claim ownership to the pieces, so kept it a secret. Spoke with attorney, and he advised that the pieces would belong to the property. So we got Heritage Trust involved to help us to identify the pieces and to date them, and the rest is history.
Wow. That must be lovely. And prior to COVID, you guys must have had a lot of schools coming here to visit.
Yeah. We get a lot of schools. We also get a lot of corporations, businesses that they come on outings and they want to visit the museum.
Really?
And they're never disappointed.
What about dignitaries?
Yes, we have had our share of those. I don't want to call any names, but we have had our share of those.
Persons come through.
Come here. Yeah.
I can't help but notice how green and lovely the property is. How large is it?
It's 30 acres.
30 acres?
Yeah. 30 acres.
Do persons must have weddings here?
Yeah, we do a lot of weddings. A lot of corporate events. And sometimes persons just want to come here and spend the day.
And this is a real old-time home.
Old-time.
So when you're walking by, like I'm looking at some of the structure, you have hens there basically taking care of the eggs, resting on the eggs.
Yeah, resting on the eggs. This house itself is a Georgian style structure, which would relate to the English era.
Soak up our island's pristine beaches, ride horses through the ocean, feel the zipline rush. With Kareem's Quest Tours, discover Jamaica's hidden gems, find amazing places to stay, and learn the secrets of our island plants. Your unforgettable adventure awaits.
So this house was dated around 1780 C by the historians.
Okay.
I think it's much earlier, but that's the date. They listed it at 1780.
Right. Okay. Wow. This is a very special site as it pertains to Jamaican history. And because it's so special, we won't get to see a lot of the artifacts because we don't want persons replicating our history and shortchanging us, right?
That's right.
So
right.
David has been so kind to show us a few items. And the point where most of us want to be at now is to know what are these artifacts, right? So let's see with your gloves.
All right. I'm gonna share. I'm just gonna select a few pieces.
Right.
And kind of, we're gonna go on a little journey.
All right.
With these, and these pieces, what I call these, to me, that they represented, they're very spiritual pieces.
Okay.
From the Taino era, and it showed, that journey they took trying to understand our Creator. I call it In Search of God.
Okay.
Because these were called Zemis, which were Taino gods.
Right.
Right. Now this particular piece, if you look at it, you see it has two faces.
Right.
On the front and on the rear. And it's actually the face or the image of an owl. We call it patu.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm gonna turn it around.
About how heavy is this?
This piece here, I'm pretty strong.
25 pounds?
No man, it feels heavier than that. Probably about 40 pounds.
Well, 40
It's a solid
pounds,
stone.
okay.
Yeah. And it has two faces, which is really illustrating that the owl with the two faces. This is really showing an illustration of the owl having the ability to spin its head around.
Okay.
360.
Oh.
So they
yeah.
put two faces, right? Now, in further research, this was really in the spirit world. They say an owl represented wisdom, or it stood for seeing beyond what is, because it has the ability to see in the dark. So the Tainos from observing the owl, they created this as a god, saying that they would take on those spirits, seeing beyond what is, or that spirit of wisdom.
Right.
So a lot of the Taino pieces, you will see an image of an owl on it. All right, and this is made from sandstone, which is pretty prevalent in St. Mary. And you're in St. Mary,
right.
You're in over St. Mary. All right, so basically what we find even in other cultures, you'll find that they use material, usually a soft stone, to carve with. Right? This is a tool, a carving tool. It's actually a sandstone.
Okay.
And they would use this to sand with. Right? This is another tool. This is actually a chisel
Oh.
that they use to carve it. So it just trying to understand these, sometimes it seems like it's impossible. But these are primitive tools, which
And how long would like
other cultures,
the Heritage Trust and
well,
support
they
be
look
here
like-
too?
They date a lot of these as around 650 AD,
Okay. Then.
which is over 800 years,
Oh.
right? One of the things that they use also was conch shells, and this is a piece which show different pieces being cut from it. This is another conch shell.
Right.
See,
What would they use a conch shell
They'll
for?
use a conch shell to make. This is one illustration of a, because this is actually a spoon.
Okay, that's a spoon.
Yes, this is a
It's a
spoon.
big meal.
Yeah. This is also a spoon.
Oh, really?
More fancy, right?
So they would carve those little patterns at the back of the spoon?
Yes.
Okay then.
Right. And this is actually like the image of a dolphin, which is another zemi, another god that they would embrace. All right. Let me get to this one. I'm not gonna take up all the time. This is also another zemi. You see, this is the face of a turtle.
Okay.
So they embrace a turtle as a god also. And the turtle in the spirit realm still stands for long life, because they live up to 140 years. The shell would stand for coverage or protection. They also said that the turtle moves slowly, so it stood for patience. So they would pray to all of these, saying that they're taking on these spirits, these different spirits, based on the metaphors that they found
Right.
from these different things in nature. So that's pretty much it in terms of trying to
What about
understand.
this one?
the-
I don't want
the
you to
time
talk
now.
about this one.
Okay, this is a fertility god,
Okay.
right? And so in studying the other culture, what we found out was that they would actually use this. There'd be a stick attached to this, and they would use this. It's a tool to plant,
Okay.
and so they would sow something to the god, to fertility god,
Okay.
in hopes of
Getting
being
a
fertile,
nice
getting a child. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is actually a tool to dig with.
Okay.
Let me show you an illustration. But we find a lot of these stones on the property, right? Trying to understand. So this would be attached to something like this.
Get
And then
you.
they'll use it to dig with.
Get you.
Right? This is a stone that was worked that we found on the property. This is like a hammer. So it's primitive, but during that era it worked for them.
Okay.
Right? If you look at 1,000 years ago, that's the way it was.
Okay.
Right? So that's pretty much it.
David, thank you for the wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
So here you have Taino history, you have some British artifacts as well, and Spanish artifacts.
Yes.
Okay then, how can persons come here? What do? They call before?
Yes, they can call, especially during this period that with what's going on.
And you guys are listed?
Yes, we are. We're licensed by TPDCO.
Okay.
We're listed. We have a website.
What's your website?
It's Rianova Village.
Okay.
www.rianova Village, right? And it's best to call now because of what's going on. We do only buy bookings.
You do only buy bookings?
Yes, that's
But
how
what
we
if somebody
currently
wants to
operate.
come and have a picnic here and so forth like that? Are those options available?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
For weddings, for picnics, special events, corporate events, all of that is.
Can come here. And
You
for the
can come
historians.
here. And for the historians.
Them can come here and come for something
Yeah,
different.
come and learn some Jamaica history, man.
All right,
I'm
respect.
still learning.
Alright, me too.
All right.
I just came from the Great House and got some good information from David. And now I'm here with Colin, the operation manager for Dirt Adventure.
Right,
Now, Colin, what made you? Well, I knew Dirt Adventure with the dirt bikes them.
right,
So now Dirt Adventure have horse tours.
exactly.
What's
Exactly.
that?
Well, we always sort of think about, what more can we do to enhance the tourism experience. So we started thinking outside of the box, and we thought it would be a great idea to start horse tours in combination with Renova Estates.
How many horses do you have?
We currently have 11 horses.
And how long does that tour last?
A tour goes up to an hour or a little bit more, or about an hour and 15 minutes.
And how many, you have persons basically escorting you on the horse
Right.
to make sure, say,
Yeah, safety,
Yeah.
because safety is paramount. Not everybody is familiar with horses, and so we have experienced what you call tour guides to take you through the tour. We have one person here who has been dealing with horses by the name of Footy since 1959. So it's
Footy is actually my guide.
Yes, so he's quite experienced and knowledgeable about the horses. So you're in good hands.
Okay, good. And where do you start the tour? So the tour starts basically close to where we are now, right?
Right,
And where
right.
does it continue to?
It goes up through the gazebo, go up to the great house, it comes back around, you come down on the beach, you go through the water, and you come right back here.
Okay then, but you stop along the way.
Yes, we stop along the way. We stop along the way. Historical sites. We are currently on a historical property, Renova Estates. This estate was where.
David actually tell me all of that.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
yeah. So the British and the Spaniards
Right.
fought for Jamaica.
Yeah.
And up there, just on top of the hill, we have cannons to this day, where the shots were fired out to
The ships.
the ships that are on the waters. So
Nice. One thing I always notice about Dirt Adventure is that you guys tap into the local market a lot from way before the pandemic.
we try to encourage our locals to come out and have fun. I mean, Jamaica is an island where, believe it or not, you find that a lot of locals don't get the chance to enjoy it. And so we try to tap into the local market by setting our prices at affordable rates so that our locals can come out and enjoy and have a good time. It's just not for the people overseas.
That is true. What days are you open?
We're open 7 days a week.
Yeah? What is the business? Weekends must be the busiest days,
Weekends
right?
are the busiest days. Yeah, the weekends
So
are
for-
and public holidays.
Yeah.
You find a lot of locals coming in to enjoy.
What times? Because I always want to know these things to know what times and days to avoid.
Well,
Honestly,
well, as I said,
I'm not a big person. I don't like
the crowd.
to see the
You don't like the crowd. All right. So I mean, the weekends are our busiest time, Saturday and Sunday. During the week, you will not find a lot of people, and I can say that because of the work issues, where people have to go to work. But as soon as there's a public holiday, as soon as the weekends chip in, you find a drove of people coming in.
Wow, that is very nice. And is it like friends, families, teens?
A variety of people. You have friends, families, co-workers, you have teams from different avenues and aspects of life. You will have people from a company just want to go out and have a good time, and they will just come as a company and enjoy themselves, especially on a public holiday or a Saturday.
Okay then. Do persons also bring their food to eat and so forth?
No.
They go somewhere else to eat?
They go somewhere to eat, but that's in the pipeline. We're looking to provide food in the near future.
I like to see that. I like to see, I mean, because Dirt Adventure always feel like this kind of mom and pop type establishment, you know what I mean? Where
Yes.
it's persons you can relate to.
Right.
And you can understand. So
Right.
I like to see, this initiative like that. Do persons normally go to the beach afterwards?
We do offer them beach access. It's optional. A lot of people like to go to the beach afterwards, and but some just like to do the tours and
then head on back home.
Especially now with the curfews and all of that.
Yeah.
People want to get out the road as quickly as possible.
I get you. Colin, this was another great adventure for me. I wish you guys nothing but success. I mean, I love
Thank
the
you.
initiative that you're taking, and especially, I always have to say this from the first time. You guys employ so many persons from the community.
Yes.
Because when I went
Try
up
to
to
do
the other Dirt Adventure ATV track,
Right.
there were a lot of young men that were there.
Yes, and they live in and around the community.
And I noticed here now you do the same thing.
We do the same thing. We do the
Yes, so
same
you're
thing.
giving them an option, especially in a time, economically tight time like
very,
this.
very tight times, and they're very appreciative.
All right, much respect.
Much respect, my brother.
Yes, man. So now I'm going to try. I'm going to take the horse on the water.
Right.
All right.
Right.
I realize you're not dressed fit. You
No,
know,
I wasn't dressed for it. So another time when you come, just let me know. And
him will never do it, but I'm going to try it. The great thing about this venue is that it is filled with a lot of activities. You get to ride compliant horses as well as view the well-manicured lawn, but more importantly, you get to be at a site that was pivotal in Jamaica's history and learn about the battle that took place here. Whenever you're going out to places, try to also choose places that you can learn about Jamaica's history and learn about how different things occurred that shaped the country the way it is today. As usual, people, stay safe and walk good. Let's go.